The Hanwha Eagles take on KT Wiz in a 5:30 a.m. Eastern start time. The Wiz are minus 185 on the money line. Total's 9.5 juice to the under. And if you like the Eagles in an upset, they're plus 135 on the money line and minus 150 catching the run and a half. Now, we are coming off another winning Sunday in our premium sports picks on patreon.com/Brock Page. We went 3-2 in our 5 premium selections on that website yesterday. We're also 5-2 in our last 7 board member tier package selections on that site as well. If you want to sign up for those premium selections, or if you're just curious and you want to check out the site, maybe browse a little bit, link for that site is posted in the description section below. And once again, that is patreon.com/Brock Page. And when it comes to this Hanwha Eagles squad, they're coming fresh off a 5-4 victory over the Lotte Giants. Matter of fact, they took that series from Lotte 2-1. Their 3-1 record in their last 4 is good for 75% during that short span. They're also holding their opponents to under 2 runs per game on average in their last 4 as well. Now, KT on the other side is currently in 8th place in the 10-team KBO baseball organization. Their 4-7 record in their 11 games on the year leaves them with a win percentage of just .364. Now, total-wise, 2 out of the Wiz last 4 stayed under the total of 9.5 runs, throwing out their most recent game with Samsung. Meanwhile, on the other side, Hanwha's last 9 straight stayed under that total themselves. 11 out of their 12 games on the season stayed under that total in addition to that. So this might not be a bad spot for an underplay here, but with all that said and done, give me the Hanwha Eagles plus 1.5 and the under 9.5 in that contest. And before we go ahead and move on, just want to take another quick timeout and welcome you to the video. Got some lines and personal leans out for Tuesday's KBO baseball action. Now, before we go ahead and dive into some more of that, and before we go ahead and move on, I just want to quickly remind you once again to check me out on my website at patreon.com/Brock Page, where once again, we're coming off another winning Sunday in that website. We went 3-2 in our last 5 premium selections on that website yesterday. We do daily premium sports picks on that site, beginning at just $1.99 through the end of the month. We'll bill you the day you sign up and then the first of every month following that. And speaking of our $1.99 package, we're currently a perfect 3-0 in our last 3 daily best play premium selections. When it comes to our $2.99 membership, we're 12-4 with a push in our last 17 premium selections in that membership. We're also 8-4 in our last dozen Underdog tier plays, and we're 5-2 in our last 7 board member tier package plays as well. We have a bunch of different memberships, tiers, and packages that you can subscribe to. Very successful, as you can already tell. And all of those picks are games that I personally have action on. They're my premium selections. So make sure you go ahead and click the link in the description section below. I'll also include a link in the comment section below as well. And once again, that website is patreon.com/Brock Page. A lot of great stuff going on that website. And with that, I'm going to slide to my next matchup. It is going to be LG Twins squaring off against the Samsung Lions in a 5:30 a.m. Eastern first pitch. The Twins are minus 150 with the total at 9.5, heavily juiced to the under. Samsung's plus $110 for an upset win. And if you like them catching 1.5, they're currently minus 150 for some run line cash. And speaking of the Lions, they're coming off a tough 7-run loss to the KT Wiz by the final of 9-2. The Lions are also on a 3-game losing streak where they were swept by the KT Wiz during that span and gave up 9 runs or more in all 3 of those contests. Matter of fact, Samsung gave up 33 runs to KT Wiz during that 3-game series. The Lions are currently in second to last place in the KBO. Their 4-8 record on the season is good for a win percentage of just .333. Meanwhile, on the other side, LG's won 2 out of their last 3, including a 5-3 win over the Kaiwum Heroes during that span. The Twins have won 6 out of their last 7, giving up just 2 runs per contest on average in their last 4 victories. LG's currently in second place in the 10-team KBO with a win percentage of .636. Now, total-wise, 4 out of LG's last 7 got over the total of 9.5 runs. Meanwhile, on the other side, Samsung's last 4 straight got over that number themselves. 6 out of their last 8 also got over the 9.5 as well. Might not be a bad spot for an overplay here, but with all that said and done, give me the LG Twins minus $1.50 and the over 9.5 in that contest. Next matchup, Lotte Giants taking on the Kia Tigers in a 5:30 a.m. Eastern first pitch. Lotte is minus 150 with the total at 10.5, slightly juiced to the over. And if you like the Tigers in an upset, they're plus $1.10 on the money line and minus $1.40 catching the run and a half. And speaking of the Tigers, they've been victorious in 4 out of their last 7, including a solid 13-4 victory over the Doosan Bears during that span. They also beat the Samsung Lions 12-3 during that stretch as well. Kia held their opponents to under 4 runs per contest on average in those victories. They are taking on a sputtering Lotte Giants squad who's dropped 3 out of their last 4 themselves, including a loss to the Hamwe Eagles where they scored just 1 run. Lotte's actually struggled offensively as of late, averaging just 3 runs per contest in their last 3 defeats. Now, total-wise, when it comes to the number, Lotte's last 3 straight stayed under the total of 10.5 runs. And as a matter of fact, 4 out of the Giants' last 7 stayed under that number as well. Meanwhile, on the other side, 4 out of the Giants' last 6 stayed under that number themselves. So it might not be in a terrible spot for an underplay here. But with all that said and done, give me the Kia Tigers plus 1.5 and the under 10.5 in that contest. Next matchup, NC Dinos squaring off against the Doosan Bears in a 5:30 a.m. Eastern start time. The Dinos are the $1.30 favorite with the total at 9.5 flat. And if you like the Bears in a slight upset here, they're minus $1.15 on the money line and minus 175 catching the run and a half for some run line cash. Now the Bears did split their last 2 games with the Kia Tigers, including an embarrassing 13-4 loss during that span. They also gave up double-digit runs to the Lotte Giants and a loss to them as well. Doosan's taking on a Dinos team who's coming fresh off an 11-5 victory over SK Wyverns in their last outing. They swept the Wyverns 3-0 in their most recent series, and they are also currently on a 6-game winning streak, sweeping KT Wiz in the series before that. The Dinos are holding their opponents to just 2 runs per contest in their last 4. They're also currently in first place in the KBO with their 10-1 record, good for a win percentage of .909. Now, total-wise, the Dinos are coming fresh off a game that flew way over the total of 9.5 runs. 5 out of their last 9 also got over that number as well. Meanwhile, on the other side, Doosan's last 9 straight got over the 9.5 themselves. Matter of fact, 10 out of their 11 games on the season got over the total of 9.5 runs. Very exciting games for them. This might not be a bad spot for an overplay here. Give me the NC Dinos minus $1.30 and the over 9.5 in that contest. All right, next and final matchup for the show, it is going to be SK Wyverns taking on the Kaiwoom Heroes in a 5:30 a.m. Eastern first pitch. The Heroes are the $2 favorite with the total at 8.5. And if you like Wyverns in this spot here, they're plus $1.40 for an outright win and minus 145 catching the run and a half. Now, Wyverns has gotten swept in their last 3 straight series. They're really struggling as of late. Their current 9-game losing streak is the worst in KBO right now. They're also coming fresh off an 11-5 loss to the NC Dinos, while also getting blasted 14-2 by the LG Twins during that losing streak as well. SK's averaging less than 2.5 runs per contest in their last 5. Needless to say, this 1-10 Wyvern squad is currently in last place in the 10-team KBO. Meanwhile, on the other side, the Heroes are coming fresh off a 9-4 victory over the solid LG Twins. Kaiwoom's currently just a half game out of second place in KBO. Now, total-wise, 2 out of Kai Woom's last 3 stayed under the total of 8.5 runs. They also saw 5 out of their last 8 stay under that number as well. Meanwhile, on the other side, Wyvern saw 3 out of their last 4 stay under that total themselves. This might not be a bad spot for an underplay here, but with all that said and done, give me the Kai Woom Heroes minus 1.5, getting the job done for some run line cash, and the under 8.5 in that contest. All right. Let's go ahead and dive into some shout-outs. Once again, brought to you by patreon.com/BrockPage. And from the Patreon platform, shout out to Jay Williams, Kyle Moran, Bill McMahon, Brian T., Jose Lopez, Dwayne McNeil, Brandon Saunders, and Aaron Bell. Next, from the Instagram platform, shout out to Destiny Amaya, Big Sean Kemp, Bubba Jonesy, Will Slade, Nurse Iscali, Real Gene Snitsky, Michael Rappaport, and Chelsea Lynn, a.k.a. Trailer Trash Tammy. And last but certainly not least, shout-outs from our YouTube platform. Shout-out goes to Dark Hill Arts, Adrian Kennedy, Stephen Lewis, Ace King, Aussie Mika, George Emily, Aaron Kumar, and last but certainly not least, got to give a shout-out to my man, Shakti Poppins. All right, guys, that's going to do it for me. I got to thank you for joining me right here on YouTube. I really hope you enjoyed all this great free content, all this great free information. Happy Monday or Tuesday to you, depending on where you're when you're watching this. Best of luck to you, and I look forward to seeing you later on today on my website at patreon.com/BrockPage.